Hey guys, this is Denich as always. It's nice to play Skyrim and do whatever you want, play The Witcher, and go anywhere. Come on, even Sims is fun to play because you can do absolutely anything. Want to meet someone? Want to fight with the whole city? Yes, even become an astronaut or president. You can do that. Freedom is cool, and today we are going to talk about new games where you can do anything. Some of them are already out, some are not yet, but soon, in any case. It will be interesting. Click on the like, click on subscribe if you are not subscribed yet, and actually, let's go.
Do you miss adrenaline and dynamic gameplay? The perfect place to get it all? Good old Crossout. Tense battles, dozens of different vehicles, and hundreds of parts for their customization are waiting for you. You can make a powerful, bulletproof tank and destroy your enemies just by the look of it. Or make something smaller, but fast, and get in the back of unsuspecting enemies. In any case, Crossout is the best place to show everyone who is a real pro. Download the game at the link in the description.
It is definitely worth starting with The Sims, only let's talk, not about the existing 4 part, in which you can do a lot of different things from birth to death, but about 5. It has not yet been released, and even the release date is not some, but there is one important feature which very much distinguishes the 5th part from all previous ones. The developers intend to add there the first in the history of Sims built-in multiplayer. It will be something local, as if real friends would want to play together in The Sims. That is, we probably shouldn't expect any The Sims MMO. It will rather be an opportunity to own your own house and invite your friends to your house. That is, multiplayer for a few people, not a full-fledged 1,000. In general, you can do this with mods in 4 parts, but here you will not have to dance with a tambourine under the moon. It's nice. The game is likely to come out as empty as the 4 on release, and in time, will form a huge amount of DLC expanding the world. And here it is, the most full-fledged competitor Sims, which appeared most unexpectedly and made a furor. Let's start with the most unusual. The city will be managed by a cat named Psyket, which also takes the player's characters to work. He basically manages all the people in the city. We create a character, get into the city, and live our lives. And here, it's just random partially, and there are many events that do not depend on you. For example, the character can be robbed, hit by a car, throw a brick on his head. In general, it sounds and looks, frankly speaking, it is impressive, so this case is definitely waiting. And now I would like to mention about the game, which is far from new, but in which updates are still coming out, and the amount of content is so off the charts that it can easily compete with all the Sims. Stardew Valley is probably one of the most relaxing games in which you can do anything you want. Basically, it's an open world game about life in the countryside, not in a Russian village if anything, without bombs, alcoholics, and all that. Although there's plenty of fun to be had here too. Your main quest is to have fun, earn village money, and most importantly, you need to bring the house to sense or it's overgrown. There are so many features and opportunities that you can list them for an hour and will not be even half, so I'll leave it to you to experience this world for yourself. I especially recommend it if you've never played it. If you are still confused by the pixelated and definitely old graphics in Stardew Valley, you can go for My Time at Portia. In fact, it is a full analog of the previous game, but only made in 3D and with normal graphics. You need to start a new life in the city of Portia. The main quest is to restore the workshop of the main character's father and return it to glory. We will fulfill orders, grow crops, take care of animals, and make friends among the inhabitants of this village. With the help of the guide and father's workbench, we will collect resources, create items, and fulfill orders to win the love of the locals and earn bucks. Naturally, you can create your own farm, manage it, and do all this farming and building stuff, but if you get bored of living on the farm, you can go to the dungeons. Yes, to fight monsters and improve your character's skills. Variety. let's get back to full-fledged life simulators, which something recently piled up. This is another fighter for Sims Glory, coming out in March next year, and here, the game promises space for ideas and creative stories. The open world allows you to play with no load times and interact in real language rather than the Sims language we're used to. You can buy a car or bike and ride them. You can develop your skills. You can control your life directly by dragging and dropping characters, or watching them from a third-person perspective. It is possible to build a career, fall in love, create families, and tell stories through conversations separately. You can create your world, build houses, develop neighborhoods, and do all the same things we did in The Sims. Overall, it doesn't look bad, but only in words, so far, because visually, in my personal opinion, it is still lagging behind. If you do not want to talk and start families, but want to do construction and mechanical things, the best place for this is Satisfactory. Here you can really let your imagination run wild and create giant factories, mills, corporations, and all that. And the coolest thing is that the game, as it was with Stardew Valley, is constantly being supplemented with new additions and updates. The amount of content in the game is off the charts, so to explore all of it will take really dozens of hours. That, you understand, only one map in the game in 30 square kilometers. Button that you press tiered while you get to the end. In general cool, with the variety and opportunities in the game all very well. Let's go back to the farms. There is nowhere we have huge opportunities to do all sorts of work, specifically here Coral Island, which has been released. The range of activities starts from growing tomatoes on the bed, to the fact that you are now an underwater diver, and dive in search of all sorts of junk. At first, we'll create our perfect farm, as we should. We will grow crops, take care of animals, and communicate with the inhabitants of the island. The island, by the way, is huge and rich in places to explore. Plus, an important part of the game will also be restoring the island, participating in community projects to beautify the town, and improving the local museum. You can climb caves and look for rocks. You can chat with locals, grow plants, and sell them, swim and kick fish with your feet. In general, there are a lot of possibilities. If you don't want to swim, you look like a brutal man weighing 250 pounds. But you're a princess at heart, then welcome to Disney Dreamlight Valley. It's strictly single player, you know, like The Sims. Although to be honest, it's a great game. It's a game that combines a life simulator and an adventure game with quest and exploration featuring Disney and Pixar characters. The world of Dreamlight Valley used to be a harmonious place, but now the oblivion is proliferating and taking away the magic. So it's up to us as the heroes of this realm to free the valley from oblivion, solving challenges and puzzles, doing quests and all that. The funniest thing is the dozens of familiar faces on the screen, from Mickey Mouse to Valley. It's straight up fun. There's also Sengoku Dynasty, which is finally being actively finished by the developers, because on release it was just really raw. It's better now. Who doesn't know, Sengoku Dynasty is a multi-genre role-playing game with open world, city building simulator, and life simulator with survival elements. In short, a mixture of genres. Just right for today's video, we can create and lead our own dynasty in the turbulent times of feudal Japan. You can do it as a solo or in a cooperative. We will have to rebuild our region by developing villages, gathering resources, crafting, hunting, building, and growing crops. Naturally, you will also have to beat your face. Enemies are different. On the engine, UE5, Japan as a whole looks just fine. The main thing is that your PC pulls it, otherwise you will be in trouble. By the way, a couple of more words about my time at Sandrock. Basically, if you didn't like Portia, you can skip it and go to Sandrock to do the same thing. You'll find an absolutely similar game, only in a different style, in a different city, and with eternal sand in the neighborhood. Instead of greenery, I love the sandy theme, so this game is even closer to me. Here, by the way, you can make not just a workshop, but a full-fledged factory already. The game has a different story. For 30 hours of gameplay where you can even seduce some lady. In general, there are a lot of activities too, as in all today's games. So I hope you found something interesting for you today and clicked on the like and subscribe too. Well with you was as always Deni, and all the best.